Data refers to the ever-increasing amounts of structured and unstructured data in our world that can potentially be mined, examined, and used. Some of the implications of big data are positive and others are negative. Analysis can be used to find hidden patterns and connections in big data, which can lead to breakthroughs in efficiency. However, big data and its analysis can pose risks to individual privacy and leave people vulnerable to abuse or misuse of their data. Some data in big data is usable, which means that you can use it regardless of whether it's informative or useful. So this means that it's technologically possible to process and hold all this data. And other data is useful, and that means that it can be used for a specific purpose, which is a matter of perspective. But if it can be used to make predictions, describe some process, or solve a problem, then it's most likely useful.
Hello guys. Okay, so my section was 5.3 and 5.4, but we're going to start with 5.3, which is collection of data. Oops. First we have unstructured versus structured data. Unstructured, all the data that is collected is in a raw form. So like all the data from a big company or something would just be in a very raw, mumble-jumbled kind of state. Connections and relationships between that data are super hard to trace and even slower to process. And this requires a ton of storage space because there's so much of it and it's just like all over the place and crazy. So then structured data, this data is identifiable because it's organized. This takes up way less storage space because everything's in the correct place, there's no duplicates, etc. Structured data is structured, obviously, so like everything is in like an organized place, whereas in unstructured data it's just chaos. So like everything will have a name or an ID or something like that. So to turn unstructured data into structured, we lose some of that data and we cannot get it back. So like it would be like removing duplicates or something. And then we make the data more usable and useful. Here are some memes that I found about unstructured and structured data. Thought some of them were pretty funny. Yes. All right, 5.4 is extraction. So extraction is when you take whatever you're looking for out of the newly structured data. The first thing when you do this is you have to clean the data, and this does not mean like vacuum it or Clorox wipe it or whatever. Cleaning it means making it uniform without changing its meaning. So if you had like a bunch of data on alphabetical students, like first through last name and stuff like that, then you would just take like the first letter of their last name and then use that. This isn't changing the data, it's just making it more uniform without changing its meaning. Screen scraping is turning info for humans, so like stuff that we're already using, into info for computers. So scanners or PDF converters, like when you're going to take a picture of your worksheet to post it on Google Classroom, you take a picture, like scan it, like scan the PDF, and it comes out like a PDF form, and then you can turn that in. That's what screen scraping is. And then spider bots are virtual robot programs that read info and create entries. So when you go onto Google and you type something, this program will run and it'll go into Google's like big server and go in and find all the URLs within URLs. It's like a huge web, and it'll find everything that you're looking for, and then it'll pop up on your screen. Fire, that's it.
5.5 talks about data storage and persistence. It talks about how data storage works and how it influences our daily lives. First, 5.5 talks about metadata, which is descriptive data about an image, web page, or other complex objects. Metadata takes up additional space but has advantages for databases, such as you never lose the data, you can organize and find information. Metadata can increase the effective use of datasets by providing additional information, and metadata allows data to be structured and organized. 5.5 also talks about risks of storing personal data and information. As digitization of personal data is not possible, it is easier to now possible. It is easier to reproduce, share, sell, and access your own data. And also, it finds out everything about you based off things you have used on the internet. 5.6 Statistical Analysis talks about how common data analysis and testing techniques. Analytics are information resulting from the systematic analysis of data or statistics. There are 3 uses of statistical analysis that are commonly used. Descriptive analytics provides information about collected data via statistics that you are usually aware of, such as mean, median, mode, and range. They describe circumstances. Predictive analytics may provide information about future events that are unobserved or unknown and are based on previously conducted and analyzed data. Prescriptive analytics may provide information to maximize the chances of a future event occurring based on comparing the predictive analyses of multiple options. This module also emphasizes that more data leads to greater confidence. For example, many people rely on Google for searching for accurate information because they have large data sets to be able to conduct many analyses to improve user experiences.
Okay, this is 5.7, data mining. Data mining strategies can be used to recognize patterns in data. And the first one is anomaly detection. It is basically identifying an unusual piece of data which can be investigated or removed. And there's an example. Then there's association rule learning, which is looking for relationships between variables. There's clustering, which is grouping data sets that are similar without using known structures. An example of this would be Spotify's Daylist. Today I got Panicked Coming of Age Afternoon. Classification is generalizing a structure to apply to new data. Regression analysis is finding a function that models data. Summarization is doing exactly what it says. It's summarizing what's going on with the data in words. And next is 5.8, models and simulations. Models can allow us to create a physical or virtual representation of an object or phenomena when the real-world constraints make it too costly, too unsafe, or too timely. And so an example of this would be when we did that prisoner's dilemma thing in class. It took us the whole period, but Ms. Scholl was able to run the same scenario using a simulation on her computer, and it only took a few seconds.